What is Donald Trump's plan for Canada? Remember, two independent nations, United States of America and Canada. However, Donald Trump appears to be predicting that many in Canada want to merge with the USA. Many in Canada love being the 51st state or would want that. Remember that President-elect of the USA, Donald Trump, is consistently referring till now to Justin Trudeau as a governor, not as a prime minister of an independent nation, and then says would be great as 51st state of the United States of America, not two independent nations. Donald Trump has said America cannot suffer trade deficits because Canada needs it. Trudeau knew about the deficits, hence decided to quit. And now Donald Trump gone on further to say, remember that there are these truth socials on social media sites that he's a part of, and that is when he comes in to say this time that Canada will be secure from Russia and China ships specifically. It's very interesting. Joining me now for the latest on what precisely is unfolding on this, joining me from Canada is a senior journalist, Wyatt Claypool. Wyatt has been, in fact, consistently tracking not just US-Canada affairs, but Canada-India relationship as well. Wyatt, welcome to the telecast. You tell me, how do you see it? Because it's one thing to take a jibe, but looks like Donald Trump could be serious about the merger. Do you believe some in Canada may want to be with the USA? Why do you think Trump has said it? Go ahead.
I think Trump said it mostly just to mess with Justin Trudeau because over the last few years when Donald Trump wasn't the president, Trudeau, thinking that Donald Trump wasn't going to come back, has used Trump's name as basically an insult for all of his political opponents. He's been extremely cutting towards Trump. And then so since Trump's come back, I think he's just been having a field day mocking Trudeau, especially seeing how bad Trudeau was doing in the polls. I don't think there's really that many Canadians who want to join the U.S., but I think there's a lot of Canadians that enjoy the jokes being made at Trudeau's expense by Donald Trump.
Let's look at the relationship between Trudeau and Trump. That for sure appears to be full of friction. Do you think there could be hope with Pierre Poilievre, any other leader, or even perhaps within the government that could handle? Because eventually you'll have to have a leader who deals with Donald Trump here on.
Well, the problem for Canada right now is we're in a very dangerous situation when it comes to trade negotiations with the U.S. because we effectively don't have a prime minister for 3 months. Yes, Justin Trudeau is staying on while a Liberal leadership race is going to go on, but that's not real leadership because Trump's not going to take him seriously. He already didn't take him seriously. Now he's in this kind of limbo where he's going to resign, but he hasn't resigned yet.
Correct.
And I think anyone at this point would be far better than Justin Trudeau. I think Pierre Poilievre will make a great prime minister. I think he has the toughness required to actually lead a country. He's economically literate, unlike Justin Trudeau. And so I think that, and I think Trump actually respects him. I think that's a big thing. Trump respects people who are popular, and Justin Trudeau isn't. And Trump looks at him saying, why am I having to negotiate with this guy who can't even get 20% in the poll?
Interesting. Wyatt, I request you to stay on because those who are tuning in right now, in case you missed, Justin Trudeau has made the announcement official. He's decided to step down, but as a Liberal Party leader right now, he stays on as the Prime Minister. But there has clearly been pressure. It hasn't been voluntary. He has been pushed to clearly announce his resignation. He stepped down as the leader of the Liberal Party. That means the resignation for Prime Minister will also come in very soon. Now, Trudeau is claiming he had to battle internal party fights, calling himself a fighter and someone who truly cares about Canadian people, but is not the best candidate for the next elections. What could be the reasons? There are popularity ratings that had been dipping. One survey after another had been putting forth that his popularity numbers have dipped. Pressure from within the party. The top, of course, was the economy. Canada's economy has been going downhill. That dissatisfaction was seen among people. And then the kind of exchanges with US President-elect Donald Trump clearly did not show that Canada had a strong view on their own nation. So all eyes will be one on Justin Trudeau's next step. When will be elections and what happens next?
Canadians desperate to turn the page on this dark chapter in our history might be relieved today that Justin Trudeau is finally leaving. So given that Liberal MPs and leadership contenders unanimously supported everything Trudeau has done, why dump him now, right before an election? Have they had a change of heart? Is it because they feel guilty? Their only objection is that he is no longer popular enough to win an election and keep them in power. They want to protect their pensions and paycheck by sweeping their hated leader under the rug months before an election to trick you and then do it all over again.
Joining me from Calgary, Wyatt Claypool continues to be with us. Wyatt, you tell me this. What do you think is currently the mood on the ground? You know, the fact that a Western nation's Prime Minister has said, all right, I will not be able to fight this any longer. I announce my resignation. Elections may happen soon, but when, we do not know. What do you think is the general sentiment possibly on the ground on the political status?
I think it's just relief. Not exactly from within the Liberal Party, because although Trudeau's stepping down, things are not going to improve for them. But I think in the general Canadian population, it's kind of almost weird feeling because he has been the Prime Minister for 10 years. And even though everyone knew that he should be stepping down, he was incompetent. He shouldn't be licking stamps at a post office. He doesn't know what he's doing. At the same time, it's still strange feeling that somebody who was your leader for 10 years is suddenly going to go away in this very truncated sense. But the mood of the country is they want a different government. That's why right now when you look at the polls, a poll just came out an hour ago from Research Co. It puts the Conservatives at 47% in the polls, the Liberals at 21%, and Jagmeet Singh's NDP only has 15%. It's not just going to be an election victory coming here for Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives. It's going to be a walkover, and it's a repudiation of all the sort of, I guess, what you call woke left-wing politics of the Liberal Party.
What would be your hope or your expectation from whoever the next leader is, from the Liberal Party or if it's Conservative, Pierre Poilievre? Especially, I ask it in connection to India. That's one nation that should have been an ally as democracy. Instead, it turned into, looked like an enemy nation. How do you think that relationship must progress, whoever comes in, especially when you deal with criminal gangsters on Canadian soil?
I think that what we expect, whether it's from the Liberal Party leader who's going to take over for Trudeau, maybe only for a few weeks, but then with Pierre Poilievre, what you can hope for and what I think will come with Pierre Poilievre is just common sense. Pure and simple. We just want somebody who, when you're negotiating with an ally, is going to treat the ally as if they're on the same level as you, because you should always be treating an ally as an equal and not talk down to allies, and especially not pander to specific small fringe or groups who end up wanting to antagonize different Canadian allies. And this has been going on with many countries, not just India. Obviously, Israel is another example, with a lot of anti-Semitism around the Liberal Party. And I think this new leadership race is actually going to be a fight between those who want to keep enabling it and those who want to tamp down on it.
Interesting days ahead. Stay on with me, Wyatt, because Canadian Liberal Party appears to have started the hunt for the new leader. They have been looking, I'm sure, for the past few weeks already. The Liberal Party chief now says looking for a new party leader. Justin Trudeau helped rebuild the party, helped it return to the government. However, we are already starting to think. Remember, according to our information coming in, and we have consistently had guests from Canada who have said that there are like factions in the Liberal Party, and therefore we want to, it'll be interesting to see what happens here on. I want to thank Wyatt Claypool for your perspective and what happens here on between especially India and Canada, and in Canada itself will be interesting to see. I appreciate your perspective. Thank you very much.